There are two PCs on every desk. Explain.
I couldn't believe it. Cloaksy is here. Like, the fact that he actually made the trip out, I figured they have to have something special. The fact that you have a dedicated PC to the streaming side and to the gameplay side, and it's set up for this many people. Intel, thank you.
Ridiculous.
This is incredible. It's incredible.
Ridiculous. We're actually almost ready to get into the gameplay, guys. I mean, Ali, you teased it a little.
Yeah,
we
just
played,
a little.
a little, yeah. We played a tiny bit.
I can have an accent, too.
Did. I'm getting mocked here. My bloody desk. We got to play a tiny bit yesterday.
Yes.
It was pretty fun. But now we get to watch 200 streamers, some of the world's finest, quite literally from almost every part of the planet, coming together here in this crazy top secret location. What can we expect?
It's going to get loud. It's going to get incredibly loud. Yesterday it was loud, and I believe like not even everybody had shown up yet. So now that we have a full building of all of these creators, all of these PCs, I'm expecting people to get up and start screaming, Miles. It's going to be insane.
Clint, we heard Courage from like headphones on. He can be heard from space.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. Like Bobby Poff, if he's on a subtrain or something, Lord knows what that's going to sound like. But my boy Tyler Blevins Ninja here as well. But like, I think this is a testament to how pumped up everyone gets about Call of Duty every year. Like the fact that there are this many big name streamers in attendance, we're going to see some incredible gameplay, go through the various modes. I mean, this is going to be a real treat. It really is.
I mean, and you've been around a long time in the Call of Duty world. In this venue right now, we've got streamers and players from, you know, all across North America, South America. We've got players all over Europe, Japan, Australia, you name them. We are all over here. Mobile players everywhere. Yeah. How do you describe the vibe in the room right now?
I mean, it's just incredible. It's a bunch of homies who love Call of Duty all in one room getting ready to grind. And, you know, I was talking to them earlier. I was walking around doing the round saying what up to everybody. They're going hard, right? Like, I was talking to some of the Warzone guys, Repos. He's like, I'm here to fry. Zuma's ready to go. So I'm interested to see them with these new weapons and the gunsmith, what they come up with, especially our new game modes like Prisoner. It's going to be lit.
Listen, as much as they're here for their love of Call of Duty, they're also here because they want that banger clip. Like, everybody wants, like, you know, like, you're trying to go out and fry some of these big names, get a clip out on social, your YouTube, whatever it's going to be. So yeah, I'm sure people are going hard in the paint or falling to their desk at their Tim. I'm sure we're going to have a couple of those.
We'll go a little bit of that later on. I think we're actually ready to hop into gameplay. Dr. Lupo, one of our first here, and he's already down and out, but we are playing, I believe this is Hardpoint and Mercado, nameless.
Yeah, you know, I didn't get to play this map yesterday, but one thing I just want to point out with this game is it's a lot more vibrant than some of the MW games that we've had in the past. There's so many more colors, and that's something that I always enjoy, especially with Call of Duty, is when it's more vibrant and you can see more on the map.
I think sometimes you go dev to dev, and yeah, it's like you have like your more realism, like your grays and browns. Some will have a little bit more color, but like this map in particular, yeah, the second we saw like the fly-through of this, it just looks gorgeous. It really does. And I'm not that I had any concerns about the visual side of it because they knock it out of the park every year, but it's just aesthetically pleasing. It is.
It's very, very pretty. That is, of course, Dr. Lupo. You can watch him stream this live. Every single member of the crazy, I don't even have a name for it, the stream pit here, COD Next, all of them live on their own channels, and unreal, man.
Yeah, it's unreal. I mean, all these guys are going hard. You can see he's locked in. Talking a little bit about the game and the movement, though. When I first hopped on yesterday, the movement felt so much different than Call of Duty's in the past. You know, it's not that slide cancel. You got to complete your slide. The dive mechanic, it plays out so much different when you're going into a gunfight. You can dive out of a window. Miles, it was a lot of fun. We were getting into the mix.
We really did get into the mix. I'm going to tell this now on air in front of God knows how many people, but last night, Ninja wasn't in the venue. I played on his setup. He wasn't quite here yet. And I found there is an in-game like whisper feature. So I was sending messages to other creators as Ninja, talking horrendous, man. Like horrendous trash talk. All very good-natured friends of mine, you know, but I'd be kind of weird to get that from Ninja, right?
Yeah, does Ninja know you did this?
He has no idea.
I walk up and slap him.
I walked past him today and I was like, good morning, dude, how you been? He's like, hey, man. Not a single word. Ali, not a word.
Not a word. I actually got into a game against you specifically. I was on, I believe, Nate's streaming account. I don't believe that he's here today, but I was getting disrespectful with some people on the map. And I believe that you were in my last game, and the second I killed you, you left. I remember looking at the leaderboard, and
that wasn't me. That was Ninja.
A quitter, Miles.
That was Ninja. Over to Courage now, who's having a good time.
And, you know, we're
Listen, he is, as much as he's like a fun, good-loving, like everyone takes a jack, it's just like this great-natured guy. He is one of the most competitive human beings I've ever met. Like, he gets pissed, bro.
Passion. Raging passion. And look, it's me on the right-hand side. No, it's not. It's me.
And I will have to say, to test what Ant was talking about earlier, about the game mechanics, something else that I noticed that I don't feel like I felt in other Call of Duty games is how kind of realistic the movement with your gun is, if that makes sense. Like, there's obviously always going to be recoil, your attachment's always going to mess with that, but when you peek corners and stuff, the way your gun moves with you is very, very realistic, and I think that's going to be something a lot of these players are going to notice and have to get used to very quickly.
And you saw a taste there of when you're spectating a player, you get that kind of like over-the-shoulder, like tactical camera view, and it just adds this insane level of like, it's like realism, but like it just looks so exciting to watch. And when you're, enjoying like, maybe seeing your teammates play or whatnot, it just looks so cool. It's a nice new feature here in the game. And sorry, Clint, this is the new knockout mode. I don't think you might not know what this means.
I haven't seen this one yet.
I haven't played it yet.
Yeah.
No. I mostly, I was watching some of the guys play. I just wanted to kind of live react and enjoy it.
Yeah.
Like, there's so much new stuff. Like, I've just been looking forward to seeing what's going to be on the table. But let's see if Jack can actually step up this time. No, not going to happen. Just getting destroyed. I'm sorry. Superior positioning, Jack. You are awful. Oh, was that too hard? He's my
No.
Okay.
He's doing the classic. He's going to a set. He's like,
he's doing the classic.
It was something else. It was something else. It wasn't his fault.
my sensitivity or something? What is it? No, Jack.
Wherever he's spectating is using my favorite SMG, by the way, too. And I think that's the
Hurricane.
The Hurricane.
What do you think, by the way, just about the changes to Gunsmith and now having 5 attachments and not having,
Yeah, so, I saw the rumblings on Twitter and stuff like that. I think it's amazing, though. I mean, when we jumped into Modern Warfare in 2019, when they introduced the Gunsmith, it was a lot to take in. But now everybody's familiar with it, especially grinding Warzone, switching up those attachments. And it's just a better version of
Seems
that.
like a good middle ground,
It's just a better version of that, right? Like, the gun moves around with you as you're in there. You can switch out all the different attachments. And, for the class of weapon that you have, like, you can change it up. Turn an M4 into an SMG. Like, that's really cool.
Oh,
that was nearly a snap.
That was nearly gross.
One of the all-time greats in the competitive Call of Duty.
One of the maybe the,
if not the.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why I said it that way.
Like the all-time great. Yeah,
Ross, he's the greatest. But there we go. Swag now getting involved as well. And to your point, Ali, about Gunsmith, I mean, it's at this point in time, obviously, it's quite hard to recognize, but that is a part of the M4 platform right now. That's his primary weapon.
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome. Like, you can switch it up. Like, you can make it into a sniper, I think is what I heard at point as well, right? So it's going to be crazy. Even with the AK turning 74U, just make some crazy different loadouts. Some of these guys, J-God's going to have so much fun with that.
9.5-hour long attachment video from J-God.
Oh, God. He's so excited about that. And I want to talk about the map aesthetics for a moment and, like, the layout. Is the rooftops, like the new ledge, how you can jump and then you can hang off the side of the ledge. That was a new thing that you can add into this game. You can jump from rooftop to rooftop, and like you can jump further than you think. And I found that out very quickly. Like I would get to an edge of a rooftop, and I was like, I wonder if I can make this jump. You can make the jump. You can make it across like the map if there's tall buildings. You can make it across the map without ever having to touch on the ground. And I think for snipers, that is going to be their absolute playground.
Speaking of snipers, Pamaj now, who's having a great time here. I mean, we've seen a lot, Clint, of the weapons so far, but surely a sniper.
Well, I heard Pamaj too. Like I stepped up. I think it's when he was first walking in. He was walking with an Irrational and some people, and he was like, I'm going hard, bro. Oh, yeah. He's like, I'm going hard. I could just hear like the competitiveness in him.
He's going hard.
Right.
And this knockout game is not going very well for the red team right now. Pamaj's team obviously winning this one. Again, secure the grab, the money bag, hold onto that bad boy. Oh, I forgot, friends, here at COD Next, it's all going on. Mobile gaming right side of your screen. We've got all of it going on. Really, a celebration of everything that is Call of Duty, and even Courage, he may have just sworn.
Do you see the gloves on the thumb?
Yeah, they're
professionals, true professionals.
Wait, I probably need to get this. I've been playing some COD Mobile, Diablo Immortal. Like I've been grinding more mobile games. I have my iPad and I'm loving it. Do I need to get little thumb sleeves?
I think you should. Yeah.
Sometimes it gets a little bit slippery. I need thumb sleeves. What are they called? I'm about thumb sleeves.
You're in the right place to ask about that. Yeah. There is an army of professionals.
I'm looking into that. No, that's actually an issue. It's like it's a little bit slippery, you know?
So they're playing some hardpoint here, and obviously us coming from the esports side of things, we love hardpoint. Miles, we were talking about this morning, when there's a hardpoint and there's some elevation above it, you can dive into it, turn around, land on your belly, and get absolutely fried. So, there are some movement mechanics for you speed demons out there if you want to make some plays.
Yeah, there's a lot of talks about, the way slide works now, and of course the dolphin dive is back. I don't think we're not officially calling it the dolphin dive, Joe's calling it the dive itself. I mean, it's a really fun mechanic. It's fast. We get to see some gameplay with it. I've actually been walking around talking to some of the CDL pros, been like, hey guys, try to stop sliding, try to dive a bit more. Come on, Butters, show us the dive.
Showed us the slide. Now we're looking for the
Right out the
dive.
window. Just dive out the window. Send it.
And all the windows are built to be diveable through. Like, that's the way the game is.
That's what Joe was kind of saying, right? Like, they've seen it so much in playtesting, and Nate goes into a window, like, everyone sends it out.
So you think like all the exciting moments you're going to have. Oh, here we go. Butter's going to be sniping there. That's the. So we have the Hurricane. She's running overkill. That's going to be one of the M4 platforms, and the sniper on the other side.
He's
and we
testing
have.
the mechanic. Look.
There we go. Testing things out. Trying to find the sneakiest, fastest way across the map.
Yesterday. I couldn't. I was trying to see if I could break the slide.
No slide
Well, that works out. Yeah, look at her face.
Ooh.
She's just like going around, testing out the movement. Someone just runs right in front of her. That works out. Give me a freebie.
You know what I'm noticing on this map that I actually like a lot? Not as many doors. Just running through.
Not as many doors, I think, in
Some areas.
general, is the overall vibe. I mean, most of the maps we've seen so far, quite small, very fast-paced. Again, Jeff talking about that, you've got a very distinct feel. So it's like the battle map is very large.
Yeah.
Way more intense action. Of course, there's like evasion stuff. 6v6 is a totally different flavor. I mean, that obviously excites us more than maybe it should most.
Oh, I mean, we love it, right? Like, we're here to see people go hard, try to win, be competitive, and
Ooh, okay.
Another thing, we're seeing a lot of elevation on some of these maps too. You know, snipers are going to be in heaven.
Yeah, I think it's max 2 stories, I believe. I could be completely wrong there, but
Hit it. Hit it.
also look at that little stock.
Did you guys use the sniper yesterday?
Yeah, right?
No, I didn't.
I used it for a whole
Cutest
invasion
little
map.
stock I've ever seen.
It was so fun.
I think we were in the same game too.
Yeah, I was in the back sniping the whole time.
I can't wait for the sort of like anime skins and stuff like that, my cute little stocks. Of course, we can put skins on individual attachments now when it comes to making some very handsome looking weapons.
Dylan Price, speaking of handsome.
Oh, good.
Also, something we haven't talked about yet is the way the perks work. I love
the perks
because
system.
it reminds me of back in the day, the specialists. When as you get kills, you get more perks. As time goes on, you're gonna have 2 base perks. You can pick whatever you want. As time goes on, you're gonna get another perk. As time goes on, you're gonna get an ultimate perk as well. So it's actually it's completely new. They've redone it, and it's gonna be sweet.
Well, the reason I think I haven't really played it yet to deal with it too much to see like how vastly different it makes the gameplay, but I know for a lot of us, when you're playing like the multiplayer experience, I feel like you get a couple perks you like, and you just sort of pick those. They're your go-to. You don't really think about it, right? Like, you figure that out in the first couple days or weeks of playing the game. Those are your perks. Now it's like, I feel like there's more decision-making that goes into it, which I personally think is exciting. Now, I don't know what I'm going to be running, but it does feel like they were saying, what was it, the different type of classes they were trying to put? You have your rusher, kind of your more stealth type player, your sentinel. Like they want to, even if it's not like class-based per se, like they want to kind of funnel it with that behind the perks, right? I think that's pretty dope.
But you can also make your own, so you can create it, pick your own 2 perks, your next one, and your ultimate, so you can figure out what you want, and it's just nice having like a rewarded game, especially when you're frying, getting that extra perk.
It really does, change what you start off with the base 2.
Yeah.
You unlock one after, a period of time. You get kills, you get points. The game progresses slowly. So no matter how you're playing, you're going to get your perks eventually. But obviously, higher scoring game, you're going to get more. And it's just really interesting again. And the perks are almost tiered. And again, Jeff and Joe will come on the desk later on and talk about this in way more detail. But the idea that the first 2 perks, they're fine. They sort of help out the gameplay. That mid-tier perk, way more sort of impactful. And that final perk, like kind of like the super perk. That's not going to turn you into Captain America, but it is going to make you way more effective.
I kind of want to be Captain America.
We're spilling the beans right now. Taking Jeff and Joe's thunder.
Well, Symphony was just on screen, so.
I mean, the wagon on that boy.
What?
There it is.
Right, listen,
picture there.
Yeah, 2 million views on TikTok, something like that. It's impressive stuff.
That's what you're watching? In your free time, Quinn?
Yes, it might be. It might be.
Okay.
I'm watching them.
It's Brooke's TikTok, she's very creative.
This is a Search and Destroy, Call of Duty classic here on Farm 18.
This looks cool.
This is one of the maps that we saw in an Intel drop not too long ago. Ooh, let's go. This is Symphony spectating Ash Sanders.
Yeah. Hip firing?
And of course, we're talking about like 3-lane maps. This is one of those maps that felt like a very good hybrid 3-lane map that does really, really well when it comes to a game mode like Search and Destroy. Like you have your traditional outer lanes, and they have their hidden corners, and they have their ways, and then that middle is just pure chaos. It's kind of like a little bit of like it reminds me of like a paintball range with all the walls and the corners that there are. So this is probably one of my favorite maps that we are playing right now in the beta testing. And as you can see, everybody is having so much fun on it. I mean, 4 and 5, everybody's doing pretty okay. It's a close game. Aiden has 14 kills. I just saw the kill board. He's on the other team.
Mason just realized he's on the stream, though. He's ready to get nasty. He's going in.
Oh, he's fully loaded. Look at the bottom. He's got all his perks.
He is perked up, quite literally.
Come on, Mason. Show me something special.
He is flying.
Oh, wow. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, no!
That's the Fennec. I was loving that one yesterday.
Oh!
That thing turns.
That's an OG weapon.
That turns people into super close range, but Pornyhoff just gave him the business.
Smoked him.
Nice try, Mason. We still love you.
Huracan OP. Is that what you're saying? Hurricane?
It's such a different look. Like when we're spectating these players and they're having gunfights, stuff like the way the player animations are, the sound effects, like the game has just been like it's everything we liked about MW19, all the stuff that was already there existing, and they've just been. I mean, it's Salt Bay right on top, just hammering away, sweet seasoning top to bottom.
Well,
and it was a close game, and now it's done.
He looked very sneaky, and then he was just evaporated.
I gotta say, the bunny hop is back in full
Oh,
force.
yeah.
man, the
Bunny hop is clean. We know Sam LaRue Octane. Gotta give him a shout out. He's gonna be bunny hopping all day.
Well, champ, baby.
We got Myth on the screen here. What's he using? M4, I think.
Again, looking at these weapons, you know it's an M4, but the configuration he has.
I was using the bigger sight, the double. I forget the name of it. But I like the extra zoom.
And of course, kill streaks. Cruise missile back. A lot of fan favorites, Clint. I mean, everything you would expect from a Modern Warfare game is there.
We get to see one. Ah, that'll connect. Myth able to hit it. He's vibing right now. But it's crazy. Like, yeah, bottom right, you were kind of mentioning like how different the guns will look. The same type of gun is based on the attachments that it has. It's wild.
There's also in-game settings where you can make your gun a little more narrow, a bit wider, further away. I mean, there's options, you know, just create that sort of visual. Look, you want the game to be as appealing as possible for you. Maybe you don't want the gun to be so big to obscure the view. Maybe you're one of those players
that... settings personally.
There
Like, give me the
is
option to tweak it how I want, right?
There's a lot of settings in this game.
I'm going to get lost in that for the entire first day, probably.
Once campaign hits, I'll spend about 3.5 hours messing with settings and then getting that first mission.
When I see Courage on a 5 streak, that pop up at the top of the screen, it might have. Courage might be popping off. Oh, well, he just died there, so take it back.
Ooh.
Come on, Swag.
Swag's dialed.
Hit it.
Like,
Yeah, this sub looks like it's dominant.
Also, all the sounds and everything when you level up guns.
Oh, yeah.
Everything is there. I mean,
I wish everyone could experience just this environment, though. Like, as much as we're enjoying the gameplay and stuff, and how cool it's been. Because, like, a lot of these content creators, like, they're friends or they're familiar with each other. They play games online. But, like, it's not often you get them all in one place like this. It has just been a vibe. Seeing everybody going up, some meeting for the first time. Like, I know Iceman and Isaac, we have interacted so many times on social. I've never met him in person, dude. We hugged for a solid 30 seconds. It was beautiful.
And it just shows like how hyped people get for Call of Duty. I was telling you, I was like, I can't believe I still get this amped for Call of Duty after over 10 years.
I don't think many things like bring everybody together like this. It is it's special.
The beta starts tomorrow, in case you've been living under a rock, or if you've just joined the stream.
Yeah, one of the two.
One of the two. There's no in between. User interface has been completely changed as well. Dead silence available on that lower right-hand side. Just a lot more sort of clean changes. Of course, the menu system, which you might not have seen here on the main COD Next stream, but individual streamers seeing them going through weapon loadout, seeing the operators there. So many cool changes. A lot more of a streamlined experience. It's sexy. That's not a lot of ways to describe it.
I love that, especially like when you click start, you go and you look at your loadout, you switch weapons. It looks good. You can see everything. It's just right in front of your face. You know exactly what's there, digestible, and that's what you need. It's such a fast-paced game like Call of Duty. It's digestible.
I also quite enjoy that like it doesn't obscure too much of the in-game screen. So if I'm hitting pause, I'm checking stuff out, I still want to have some kind of like situational awareness when I'm in-game.
Yeah.
And I will say in terms of balance of like ARs and SMGs, of course, this is all of our, like our first peeks into it, but they've looked pretty balanced so far. Like the SMGs have been absolutely disgusting up close, whether the AR gets first shot or not. And at long range, the SMGs haven't been ripping as well. The recoil gets insane at that sort of range. So I feel like it looks like the gun balance as well, regardless of your attachments and what configuration you end up coming with, is fairly much there.
I love that because, I mean, it just feels like sometimes it turns into this one gun that can do everything.
Yeah.
Right? And I think everyone appreciates a little bit of variety. Like an AR
that's
feels like
quite
an AR,
literally what this game is, because you could change your gun up to whatever you want, right? So
well, in a way, yeah. But like, I think to Ali's point, like, there seems to be a little more separation between your SMGs
like I haven't seen the do-it-all gun just yet.
Yeah.
No, I mean, we saw Aiden, of course, on the Mountain Dew green carpet, like, I want a broken shotgun. And I'm sure he can make it, but broken, we'll find out what that really means. Of course, as the game
like sawed off.
develops. He wants a sawn-off that kills people across map, that makes them move real fast. I mean, hey, who knows? Gunsmith is crazy. 2.0 even crazier.
Well, I mean,
we'll see if he can do it.
Wild. I mean, no matter how much work has gone into this, we've got the nerds in the building, and this is where if anyone's going to test some stuff, find some, weird combination that turns a shotgun into a sniper. This is the crew that's going to do it.
We've only scratched the surface.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
We've touched it for 20 minutes.
Of what people are going to do with this gun.
That's just not enough, is it, Miles?
Not enough.
No idea what these guys are going to come up with, but it's going to be crazy.
I need a good sort of 2 to 3 hours to really
look at
going.
Chef Tony.
Yeah,
this is one of the most famous Italian men in the world. Makes some mean stromboli. We love him.
Metal Boots on the building. He's got the M4.
He's
gonna run this class setup from now until the next 2 years.
We're talking about it can be great to mess around with guns.
Oh, Chris Crowder. Listen, I'm not sure what's going on here. Chris has been growing some sort of beard that's happening for the first time that I've seen. He's usually very baby-faced. Now he's kind of going for some sort of supermodel type thing, or maybe like being a rapper, singer. I'm not sure.
He's a handsome
He really is. He really is.
A tiny little bit of a user interface there. If you hold a circle, whatever your sort of crouch button is when you're on a ladder, you can fast slide down it. So that's going to get spicy in the fight.
By one.
Oh, he's on it. He's on his feet. He's on his feet.
The Gouch.
Oh, man. We will be playing all day, friends, all day.
You know what? The iron sights here kind of clean.
Well, I think this is great, too, for a lot of, people like, you saw Zenny, you saw Crowder. For those who don't know, they work on the CDL side. They're really in the midst of stuff during the season. They don't get to come to stuff like this that often and see all these content creators. I imagine they're in heaven. I've seen some of the tweets, just having a blast, meeting a lot of different people.
So as far as streaks goes, we haven't seen a whole lot. Obviously, Cruise Missile was there, Counter UAV, a classic, VTOL is going to be back. Everything. I mean, the Juggernaut is I think it's the final one, and it looks crazy. And whoever that AFK player was, get a grip. You are live at COD Next. But yeah, there's a ton of cool stuff. And I mean, we're seeing Wilson's in there as well.
That's what I was going to say. I love that.
We're gonna have a lot of fun. Chopper Gunner's back. It's called, I think it's called Air Support now, but it's it's an AC-130. You know what I'm talking about, friends.
There's a Chopper Gunner here as well.
Oh yeah. We're gonna be seeing it all.
Yeah, Miles, like if we play against each other later today, when we get the free play, I'm getting a Chopper.
I think I'm actually locked on this desk all day. I would love to play more.
after the stream's over, I think we can play more.
Yeah, I think we once the curtains go down, we're gonna dive on. Can you hear the chain?
Yeah, that's how I visualize like your ankle's just tied to the desk.
They can wheel me in the chair, but it's hard to get down the stairs. Here we go, another cruise.
Redman, how we doing?
And what a shot! He got two.
Hat over the headset.
He killed Nick Merckx.
All right, we're gonna see
you later, Nick.
So this is the air support where you're saying.
Yeah, this is it's kind of like a lightning strike.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice.
What is that thing?
The Fennec, or it's a custom one.
Wait a minute.
Longer range, maybe. But that looks like the Fennec. Yeah, that's the Fennec iron sight.
That boy don't recoil.
What?
All right, Breadman's already found a winner.
Yeah, Brett's got it.
Oh my God!
It does recoil, but it doesn't.
But he's holding that thing down though. But,
Yeah,
all right.
He's a mouse, obviously recoil, long range. You can manage
Jesus.
but it doesn't seem like there's a lot. He's just putting them down.
Yeah, cameraman, get in there real close. Show me the hands. Show me the hands. Oh, gun him.
So we played this map yesterday in the 3P mode. That was a lot of fun.
Museum, yeah, this is a lot of fun. We saw a top down of this on socials recently, but
there we go.
Yeah, give me the hands.
You hear how that sounds? So satisfying.
That sounds scary though.
Yeah.
When you hear that, that better be on my team.
I mean, he is one of the better aimers I've seen, though. Like, a lot of the tournament stuff, when you're talking about mouse and keyboard players, like, he is absolutely nuts with it. So, not surprised to see him finding some wins in the long-range battles, but...
I got to see his recoil control.
So, what do you guys think about all these maps so far? What's been your guys' favorite, Miles?
Honestly,
yeah, it doesn't look like he's pulling down a whole lot.
Honestly, this is Museum. Nice big central area, essentially 3 lanes. I mean, there's a second story. We're about to go up there now. This is where Breadman is. It's nice, man. We've got some decent lines of sight. Snipers are going to have a lot of fun here. We played Hardpoint on this map. We played Prisoner Rescue. Courage and I clutched up big time last night in like a 2v5. I had the prisoner on my back. I was sprinting. And I can hear Jack picking up 3-4 kills. Let's go, baby! Screaming. I'm there sprinting.
I'd be that guy on the team, too. I'd be carrying. Yeah.
It was great. It was really great. We had a lot of fun. There's a lot of cool, the opening breaks and stuff. Like
he's on a 15 streak, by the way.
Excuse me.
Yeah, he was frying.
He's literally annihilating the lobby. Yeah, let's stick with him. He's on 15 in a row. Another cruise coming in. Bang!
This is the Elgato replay of how this all started.
Oh, he gets 2 again. Just ripping them.
It's the same 2 people. No, it's this guy. Oh, it's a replay.
Oh, is it? Yeah. I was about to say.
Yeah,
he was on 15 in a row. I thought he got another one. I thought he wrapped his streaks.
It's all good, Clint.
Oh, dude, I basically just pulled a symphony, dude, when he was casting the pregame lobby.
Oh, and it was
I thought he earned another one.
Glorious.
Well, last thing I saw was 15 streak. I was fired up for my guy.
So he put so it's M4. His just sounds crazy. I think it's the dubbing of the audio.
It might be his stream, but either way,
it's his stream.
That boy is ripping metal. So, again, it's kind of cool to see there on the bottom side of the screen for a moment there how the perk system works. He's already at his 2nd tier of perks, which I think was Spotter. 19 kills. Let's go, Breadman. And, of course, he's working his way towards that final perk here in this hardpoint.
Yeah, it's not that crazy. I thought he wrapped streaks now, is it? He is annihilating everyone.
20.
He's farming.
Yeah, he's literally farming.
Somebody kill Breadman.
Wait, do you guys see the movement though that I was talking about? Like how when you're moving, like your whole body, like it's different than other Call of Duty games. It's very hard to put into words, but once you get your hands on this game, like you can tell everything moves with you. Like usually the gun's fairly stationary, but like everything is moving with you at all times.
And you can see it, so that's
you
know,
can see
for
it.
more of the hardcore players, the players are going out there and they're like jiggle peeking, your hips and your head.
Yeah, like
now.
everything's going.
So it's a little bit different. When you play the 3P mode, you can get a better understanding of like how that looks, and you'll see that a little bit later today.
Just like the physics of the character.
The physics of the character has been reimagined, so it's different. So
Yeah,
throwing those shoulders.
You got to be a little careful. I mean, everyone's like Shakira out there throwing the hips around. You got to be very. I mean, it's the animation.
I've been comparing
so
to Shakira, yeah.
I don't doubt that, but you got to look how smooth the animations can be, and it's been so much fun so far. Oh, is this what it looks like to be on the other side of the Breadman?
Yeah, that's what I was actually wondering.
Wait. We're gonna get up there and kick his ass.
Oh!
I think that was Breadman.
That was Breadman.
Yep, I believe
that was Breadman.
He's got 25 kills.
He's got that thing locked down.
Squid, get out there and get him. Just go back in there.
I mean, this is going on the timeline for sure. Redman's got clips for days.
I mean, Destroyer's calling the streaks to the SAE above.
What have we got here?
We got a sniper.
I just think about, imagine loading in, like trying to check everything out, run some different guns, and Breadman's just up top.
Yeah, no, he just looked dialed in. I don't think he said a word. Hit it! Ah! ADS not quick enough there. Two posted up on the bridge, just shutting him down. But
so he has the pistol on Miles. Remember we were playing with it? We turned into a fully auto sub yesterday.
Yeah, thing.
Wait, what?
But yeah, so of course, Gunsmith is ridiculous. 2.0.
Yeah.
You can turn your sidearm into something pretty mean, and then of course the ledge hang mechanic. I'm hanging on ledge. Clint, you were singing the Spider-Man song earlier. Hey man, not too. If Spider-Man carried a Glock, yeah, maybe. It is crazy to see like how much damage you can do with that thing, and just I mean, it's something that we have to learn now as Call of Duty players. I have to now look at funny ledges and see where players are.
Yeah. I was also trying out some of the field upgrades yesterday for the short amount of time that I did have. I tried the camera one. It was so interesting. Just like throw it down, go hide in the corner. You can see when they're pushing at you. It's
You hold your own. You hold your own flank at that.
Yeah, you got your own choke points.
That's great. And again, another thing. Oh! Oh, Isaac. He nearly got both of them there. And of course, Isaac, one of our streamers coming in from Europe, made the long trip across.
Yeah, I was wondering how many people we had here internationally. I've casted over him in a bunch of Warzone tournaments. He's made some deep runs. Guy's a monster. But as he's just trying to hit some snipes and try some of the different weapons, Breadman's kind of been annihilated in the lobby. But there we go. Another shot gonna hit. Bang.
I'm already really liking the sounds of these guns. I'm liking the way the crosshairs look. Like, this is something I cannot wait to get. Oh, hello.
Breadman just got a 3-piece, and then Isaac followed up with the 4th in the feed. That was very satisfying.
Oh, yeah. They are just tearing them apart, it feels like.
What's that field upgrade he has there? I can't tell from the
that could be the portable radar.
That might, yeah.
So that little bad boy kind of gives you sort of a local sort of UAV, but the radius isn't obviously great, but hey man, in a pinch, I'll take it.
Dude, look where that bullet hit. Just hit like right on the panel of the window, so the first shot didn't hit. Second one, that'll go through.
I was using this yesterday. It's a powerful shot.
It
got
feels,
a couple collabs.
Oh, wait, somebody saved him.
Oh my god.
It was Breadman.
Oh my god.
Nick Merckx was trying to assassinate Isaac. All right, get us out of there. Over the crowd.
Here's the Fennec. You run so quick with this thing.
Meow.
I mean, look how different this POV seems versus like the sniper POV.
Yeah.
Right? Like you're moving.
You're going.
That.
Oh,
wow.
Doesn't matter though. Okay, Sean J.
Sean fries him. Again, this is that sort of idea of like the different, maybe not play styles, but kind of like player attributes here, what you're going for. Crowder is obviously, he's way more aggressive, He might be hitting flank soon, but the way he's kicked himself out.
Whoa.
He's in the mix.
I think something that you could learn a lot, that all these creators are going to learn very quickly, is there a lot more paths on the map than you know about. Like, on this one specifically, behind Crowder, there's an underground passageway where one of the flags are, and, like, I didn't even know you could go down there. Like, I had to wrap the entire building before I figured out how to get underground. So there's a lot more angles and a lot more passageways than I think a lot of these creators are expecting, and that's why we're going to see possibly a lot more assassinations, possibly a lot more cruddy corners, and people just popping out of literally nowhere.
Crowder is locked in. And that is the power of the Fennec. That player didn't stand a chance.
Yeah, he's in the perfect area to use this weapon. It's like going out, getting peaks, close range combat. It's a lot of fun to use this one, man. I was using it in the majority of the games.
I mean, they're not doing a great job in-game. They've got the lead for now, but again, classic Dom. Capture the flags. UAVs and all sorts, kill streaks coming up. No one's, I don't think anyone's going too crazy with any of the kill streak choices. We did see Crim6 with a VTOL earlier. Again, classic from mw2.
Yep.
I wonder if we're going to see any more today.
Oh, you saw that? He
Yeah.
I can imagine. I mean, this is the chance to test everything. Run through, try different weapons. I mean, as much as I say that, we know how a lot of these people are. They're going for crazy clips. They want to drop bombs. They want to have high kill games. So some are going to find stuff they like, little combination they feel comfortable with, and they're going to send it. But Crowder, yeah, he's in the mix right now. Movement, I mean, he seems pretty comfortable so far. Just with little hop chows.
Yeah, the bunny hop.
Freebies.
Earlier, just hopping around. You can even hip fire this one. He's picking up a ton of kills. He's loving this class setup. He switched it up from last time.
So one of the big things, I mean, before the show started, I walked around and talked to as many of the streamers as I possibly could, and I was just like, you know, you've had a tiny bit of time with the game. How you feeling about this? And almost every single one of them said, I'm really struggling not to slide everywhere. They've been so used to doing that.
Get used to it.
From MW19 all the way through to Warzone when, you know, we're on Caldera. It's not the same. It's not the same.
I can say that just from all the Warzone I've played. Like, it's going to take, like, my hand, just the muscle memory of it. Like, I'm just so, I've been slide canceling now for years across the map. It's just going to take a little to get used to, 100%.
Yeah,
but I do think my hands are going to be very happy, though. I'm not having to do that constantly across the map.
Yeah, if you try to slide around now, you might even be slower than just sprinting.
Honestly, yeah. That's how it looks.
Again, it's how you use it. It's the dive is a really great mechanic for escaping. The slide gets you in the different positions, obviously.
I like to leave in my head, you know, the ball head. So I think the diving thing's going to be good for me. Just like a bowling ball, you know, Miles? Just sending it through a door, sitting it through a window. Maybe diving into someone. You think I can knock somebody out that way?
I wonder if there's an attachment for you.
You? Yeah.
It's like a unicorn type
bayonet
power.
or something.
Yeah, bayonet on my head. Okay, that sounds sick though. Honestly,
hold on.
If the devs are listening, let's think about that a little bit.
A bayonet dive kill.
Oh my God, I want that immediately.
I'm thinking like, you know, I've got this idea of like, you know, Yondu from Guys. He's got a big fin on his head.
Yes.
But make that a blade.
Absolutely.
Isaac. Oh, quick swat again. That is his sidearm. That's his pistol. Again, the range on that bad boy isn't going to be all that crazy, but you know it's going to rip when it hits.
Sniper's just so satisfying when you get the kill. The sound, how deep it is. It's amazing.
It feels like there's no drag in the sniper. When you were using an ant, did you have to lead your shot at all, or was it a direct hit?
It felt like an invasion, like I had to lead my shot a little bit, but that could just be because I'm rusty.
Oh, that's fair.
And I was trying to shoot across the map.
That's
But you can get some feeds, man. Like I got a couple collabs with this gun. It's super powerful.
Sniping is back, friends.
Not a dub.
Snipes feel fast and fun again.
64!
What?
Yeah, we thought Bread was popping off. Destroy's up there frying. He's got double the score of everybody in the lobby. Ooh. All right, all right.
Look at this. Oh man, through the door with the pistol. A lot of windows on that map as well. A lot of glass above those door frames. I found on, you know, keeping the teasers at it, but like opening breaks and stuff. A lot of sweet nade spots already. Yeah, I can't wait. I cannot wait. A little peek at the menu here now as well, of course, while Isaac gets ready to get into his next game. So much in Modern Warfare 2. We're almost actually ready to keep the show running. Jess, you're down there with Zuma. Tell us how Tommy's doing.
Miles, that's right, I am right here with Zuma, Tommy Properado himself. So, I mean, you have now had your first taste of Modern Warfare 2 here at COD Next. What did you think?
Oh, it's incredible. The game feels super smooth. The gunplay is awesome. I like the time to kill, and the maps are dope. A lot of close quarter gunfights, and, you know, I've been having a blast, man. The chat's loving it as well. They're loving it.
So there's so much to talk about, you know, new modes, new maps, changes to the gunsmith, but what really stands out to you? Like, what are you excited about?
I'm really excited just to get the competition going. I mean, I'm excited for the CDO, and I heard them talking about ranked play, so, you know, I'm really excited for that. And Warzone 2 looked incredible as well. I was talking to Repost. We're going to be the Warzone duo this year, so I'll be bouncing around between the both. But I'm just excited for something new, you know, a new game. And it's been a lot of fun to play, and there's so many amazing creators here. And just thank you to everybody, and thank you to Call of Duty for the opportunity to be here. It's awesome.
And then, you know, real quick, with Modern Warfare 2 on the horizon, what does the year ahead look like for you?
Man, just a lot of shows, man. A lot of flanks, a lot of streams. I mean, the content's gonna be pushing all year. So excited, man. Zoomafi's gonna take over, and we're gonna have some fun, man. We're gonna have some fun.
All right, well, thank you so much. That is all from me for now. I believe I'm handing it off to my dear friend Lottie.
Thank you so much, Jess, and it is so good to be here. My name is Lottie. First time on the desk, first time, of course, being in this incredible arena. I have a lot of wonderful folks on this desk, but it is now time to chat about an epic giveaway from our friends at Jack Links. Each Jack Links supply drop includes a brand new copy of Modern Warfare on the platform of your choice, delicious Jack Links limited edition products, and brand new epic in-game items that I promise you'll be dying to get your hands on. So check this out on how to enter.
Looking for an epic way to celebrate the launch of Modern Warfare 2? Jack Links has got you covered, giving you the chance to win the ultimate Modern Warfare 2 supply drop. Keep an eye out during the broadcast for the Jack Links Sasquatch to appear on screen. If you see it, grab your phone and scan the QR code, following the prompts to qualify for entry. Tune in to Call of Duty next. Squad up with Sasquatch and level up for the ultimate viewing experience, courtesy of Jack Links. Terms and conditions apply.
All right, folks, so keep your eyes peeled to spot the Sasquatch on the screen throughout the show. Scan that QR code and enter all your information for a chance to win. But it is my absolute honor and pleasure to be on the desk, of course, alongside Maven. But we also have Jeff and Joe on here to talk all things Modern Warfare 2. Of course, our multiplayer design directors here. And we're just going to get a bit nerdy, to be honest. You know, we're going to look at a bit of gameplay. I am so excited to talk about it. But Maven, I've got to ask you, what do you want to dive into first? We have the two guys that are going to answer a question.
Well,
here.
First off, by the way, you guys killed it in the opening of the show.
Thank
you. Know, it started real smooth. I'm sure nerves were going a little bit, but it was awesome to see. But I know we're going to have gameplay that's going to be popping up. We're going to chat through stuff. But I think one thing I kind of want to chat through is just there's been a lot of significant changes. You guys are always looking to how to kind of tweak the wheel a little bit. Can we chat through kind of the perk change and where your head was at with regards to that? Because it's a big change. It's interesting.
Yeah, you know, perks haven't really been touched for a long time in the series. And I guess by nature, they're passive. And so most of the time we found people just, you know, find the 3 that they like, and that's it. They kind of forget about the
I said that earlier. That's me.
Yeah.
Like, I find a few I like, and like that's my class. There
so
we go.
We just wanted to come up with a system that was a little bit more engaging. And so we grouped them into 3 different categories. You get 2 to start with, and then you pick a 3rd, and then you pick a 4th, and they're rewarded as you play. You really like how they proc at the end.
Yeah. I mean, an announcer comes up, tells you what perk you got, and it kind of re-engages you with what's available, right? And they're earned through time and score, so eventually you'll get them, and you're not gonna. It doesn't reset on death. It allowed us to kind of like create a couple more powerful perks and put them at the end because you're not going to have them the whole match. And there's some interesting depth there where you can say, okay, UAVs are really powerful early match. Like there's different things you can do where you're kind of like, if you're one of those players who really wants to noodle, you're like, okay, I know these aren't in play yet.
Well, I guess, listen, it's very different, but I'm also a big like RPG guy, so I like the process of like unlocking things and earning things. It's just like at the core of who I am. So I dig that, just like the progression over the course of one single map. I think is very cool.
Yeah, it just feels good. It feels good. It feels good to reminded what you have.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Oh, and I guess we didn't touch on actually is the packages, right? From like, we're talking a lot about the theory crafting of what
yeah.
But we actually have these defined packages. So early on, you just say, you know, I want this playstyle. I just grab this package and go. And then later on, when you're like, okay, I like that, but I want to noodle a little bit, you can hop in and create your own packages.
You know, that kind of, it really, people can see that through the default loadouts. And we've packaged in, based on those kind of player behaviors we were talking about earlier, we've usually shipped 6 or 5 default loadouts, but we have 6 with this one.
Okay.
We found 2 for each behavior. And so those perk packages are already in there. And it's something different in this game. We actually allow you to attach a field upgrade within that, within each loadout. And so it's a little bit more micromanagey, but it felt to us that you're kind of more creating your class and your character for, you know, in that. So people in the beta should really try out those default loadouts because we put a lot of time into how those play.
Well, I'm curious in like play testing, did you see like I'm sure everyone has a way they view themselves as a player. Like maybe you want to start as more of like a sentinel type. Did you see like as people got more comfortable with the game, like an evolution towards maybe a faster pace, or what did you notice when playtesting these different types of things?
Yeah, I mean, I think overall most of our players are rushers.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Depends on the circles you run, but you know, there are these other players, and we wanted to just make sure that, you know, we're supporting all of them. And so, you know, some of the field upgrades can be more sentinel and trying to hold down positions. But that's why we added in the DDoS, like we said, to kind of just say, I've had enough. I want to pause all this stuff and make it go away.
Yeah.
But we also leaned into creating game modes that can facilitate this kind of siege gameplay. But
now we talk about the rushing players, right? But we also want to talk about the pacing, the movement, you know, what it looks like, how it feels to be in game. And when I got a chance to get on the sticks yesterday, something I noticed is it is a little bit slower paced, right? We're going to be sprinting round, not sliding round. And I think another thing I want to talk about is the dolphin dives. I've been diving down escalators, getting prone, looking at hard points, trying to figure out, can I see bomb site B or A? Like, you know, it's pretty incredible with the movement and how it feels. What was it like making that? What were the decisions behind that pushing forward? Because the feel of the game is huge.
Yeah, I think fluidity, and I mentioned it previously, is like really, really important, right? But we did make some small tweaks, right? Like slide has a little bit more of a hang up so that people aren't just sliding around the map, so that they're actually moving through spaces, checking corners, and kind of like pacing themselves. But the general movement of guns should be almost exactly the same. And Jeff and I regularly check in. We're like, okay, how are we doing? Like, let's look at last game, let's look at this game. And we try and be consistent in that regard. But there have been these small tweaks, and the dive is one of those tweaks. The ledge hang is one of those tweaks. And those will change how people move through a space, right? You won't throw yourself over a wall, you'll peek that wall first.
Yeah, I love the ledge hangs because, you know, just testing out yesterday, being able to kind of ledge hang and really use it as intel as well. I think when it comes to multiplayer and competitive side, that's kind of where I'm at here, is being able in S&D, just being able to know where people are, give that intel to your team, peek that back down again, making sure you're not getting your dome ripped off by a sniper, of course, major stuff here, but and exciting that the fact that you can get your secondary weapon out and start to put a bit of damage in and help out there. So in terms of ledge hang, where did that come from? What was the idea behind it? You know, why is it so special to have that in the game?
To be honest, it came out of face planting too many times, up and parachuting in, just missing that ledge, and you're like, nope, that's frustrating. Let's fix that.
Well, we've all been there. Like, whether you've been playing Warzone, like you're trying to like hop and grab it, and you just like, it's like you want to hit the button to like activate the pull-up, but then yeah, you hit your shoot and you're like falling down. It can be so frustrating.
Yeah. So I mean, really, that's where it came from. But
yeah, it was also the high mantle too, right? Like late when we were developing Modern Warfare, and then you know Warzone started to come out. We had these walls and things. We ended up turning up the mantle height in Warzone.
Okay.
And it didn't feel as polished, but it allowed people to get over walls they otherwise couldn't. But like I said before, you kind of commit, and now you're like throw yourself over a wall and get shot as you make that transition. So the high mantle is definitely like get up, you can peek, or you can just double tap it and pull yourself over if you're in a hurry. It just adds that extra layer of like I can be a little bit smarter about how I move through the space.
That's a good note that you know, we make all of the equipment, all of the movement, and all of these things for scalability, and we have to kind of check ourselves that everything we put here is going to show up in Warzone.
Well, now you've got this like metaverse of like there's so much.
It's a big kind of, like I was saying earlier, right?
It's
like
not hard, man. I'm sure.
It's like how do you add different things in and make sure it all stays in check and not mess up this ecosystem?
Well, it feels like I guess for me when I view it, well, what has been the one thing, at least for me, that really separates Call of Duty from a lot of other shooters? It's like it does feel so fluid, but like there's a limit to that too. You don't need to be an amoeba, like it's just like floating through the map. Like you want to be some realism to it, but like how can you add that realism and the ability to, I mean, think about, I don't know, 10 years ago, what you were able to do with just like interacting with the map and what it's come to now. I mean, it's insane how much it's changed.
We had to argue to get sprinting into, I think it was COD 4.
I'm sure.
We didn't have that, and so like just the evolution of where.
Yeah, it's come a long ways. I played the very first one, so yeah.
Yeah, it's been pretty special, and something else that's a bit special as well is the fact that we have all these content creators behind us. We have an Elgato replay for you guys. It's actually Myth here on Prison Rescue. Just gonna check this one out and see exactly what went down here. And Prison Rescue is gonna be a really exciting one, of course, because you have to get that objective done. You need to go rescue the prisoner, and carrying them out is gonna be huge because that icon does disappear. You know, how did it work
based on
with
those
this
kind of player
prisoner,
behaviors
being
we were
able to
talking
put
about
them in the
earlier,
game, knowing that somebody's going to have to run this prisoner back and extract them, and having that defense to be set up later on and have to completely and utterly change the game, go to that defensive mode? What was the kind of makings behind that?
So it was actually kind of a hard mode to make, and we went through all these different iterations, and we had these problems where we're like, hey, the modes around rescuing these prisoners, but people, they weren't able to, right? We're like, hey, do this heroic thing, and rounds just kept ending in elimination because it was so hard. And that's why we added the radar sweep that you get when you get the prisoner, and that's why we took the icon away when you pick the prisoner up. Because we were going through, and we tried with one prisoner, we tried with two right next to each other, we tried all these different iterations, and it took a while before everything kind of clicked. And you often, when you're making game modes, you don't really know. Like some of them pretty quickly, you're like, oh, there it is.
Yeah.
But this one took a lot of work, a lot of finessing, and then we finally got it to where there is this balance, and we're seeing more hero moments. And that replay we saw, I think of that one, but while we were talking earlier, I saw him actually pick up the prisoner and take it all the way to extract and have that run, and that's what we wanted, that hero run.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about like how crazy it's gotten. Like I don't envy you guys at all. I mean, I do. You have great jobs, but like the fact that you have to think about like everything within this sandbox, like from when you're trying to make a new mode, like how is some new movement or anything going to affect Warzone? How's it going to affect Ground War? Like,
I think every game you have that moment at the end of the previous one, you're like, okay, how do we squeeze more blood from this stone?
Yeah, right, right.
And it's like, but then you start iterating and trying different things, and you do kind of like, all of a sudden it's ballooned, and you're like, oh no, we have to cut stuff. We have too much.
Yeah, I mean, Jeff, Joe, this is a pretty hard question, but just to kind of wrap things up here, you know, I think when you talk about Call of Duty, when you listen to feedback from players and different generations, they always talk about that nostalgic feeling that they get when they get on the game. What is it about Modern Warfare 2 this time around, this title in particular, do you think that is going to bring generations back, years to come, and say, look, Modern Warfare 2, excuse me, was my game, and this is why I want to play it year in, year out?
Yeah, you know, nostalgia is a weird thing, and I know from working on past games and people speaking so highly of these different things, and it's kind of where you're at in your world and your friends and things like that. And so for us, we can't really control that, but we try to lay out kind of, I don't know, for the lack of a better term, like you're kind of laying out a nice meal, and you're hoping that everyone enjoys it. And from all the systemic play with all of our equipment and all these different interactive systems, we're just hoping that fans find new and crazy ways to play the game. I don't know. What about you?
You just want it to be fun. I mean, at the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
Because nostalgia, you got to probably tune some of it out. Like some stuff, that's tough.
You don't know what's going to become
story.
nostalgic, right? You don't know. And I think one of our strengths is that I run into people all the time, and they're like, I'm an S&D player.
Yeah.
I'm a Warzone player. I'm a Plunder player. Like, you know, like I love TDM. I just play that. And so it's interesting that we're fortunate to be able to make all these different offerings so that people can come into our game and they're like, I love big war, vehicular combat. I'm going to ground war, right? And so I think that's an advantage that we have, that people can find their place, the thing they love, bring their friends in, and then years to come, they're like, I remember that. That was awesome.
Yeah, a bunch of different experiences for sure. And I got to say, the fact that we haven't even really scratched the surface yet, you know, we're here at the reveal, we're seeing it for the first time. There's so many questions that we have as well. I want to know what some of the challenges have been for you guys to develop this game, to really get it to the point that it is now, where you are comfortable to show it to the world and reveal it. You know, what have some of the hardships been along the way in this ride?
You know, I think the big kind of elephant in the room is just, you know, a lot of this was made from people's homes, you know. You're looking at people's art and work that, you know, people in their home spaces is their living room.
Wild.
I work out of a shed in my backyard. Like, there's people in their mom's basement.
I bet it's a cool shed, though.
Not really. But hot. You know, but the fact that we can get this done through, you know, millions of Zoom meetings and millions of kind of keeping everybody up to date and so many different studios, not just ours, you know, all these different Activision studios, to kind of keep on point and make sure that everything is, you know, good and great. It's been tricky.
Yeah, I think I think it's a great segue to, like, we have a really talented team, and we're up here representing that team, whether it's the multiplayer team, the engineering team, the animation team, our team. and they're all specialists in what they do, the fidelity on our view model animations, the guns, everything, the art and the maps, the design. Our geo designers, they make these 6v6 type maps, they make these huge ground war maps, and they put it all together into this massive big map, and everything needs to sync. And so all we can do is thank them and do our best to represent them.
I'm kind of curious, were there any like positives for me from a creative standpoint with like the fact everyone was in the office and like everyone was kind of like away? Like I almost feel like maybe that would lead to some interesting ideas. Like when everyone's maybe not in a room and like maybe one idea kind of takes precedent, like everyone's just kind of isolated a little bit more. I just wonder if there's any like creative advantages there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people were worried that kind of like productivity would go down by living at home, but we just found that everyone was so passionate about making this game that they could either play a game or their PCs sitting there and they could make the game better. And they were consistently working way too much, and we're like, hey, calm down, we're good. Let's get So I think that is a little bit of the fun part.
What I heard in some cases, like productivity actually like went up, which people didn't expect, and like now people are downscaling offices. So I was kind of curious if you just had like a lot of, I don't know, superstars kind of show up and pump out some really amazing stuff.
Yeah, it's tricky because we've just now been coming back in and getting kind of that kind of community in the office, and that has been a great way of kind of solidifying the game and getting people back in and feeling you don't get the big hoots and hollers when you're at home, right?
Yeah.
So we get people in the office, we get them in the big pit, and we're all playing. And
Gold star.
Yeah, you get that feedback loop of like, I made good stuff, and someone's happy.
Yeah.
Look, drawing back the curtain a little bit, because when I think of how to handle a brand new game, a brand new title, bringing all these exciting factors to it, I'm thinking of like bare bones, in your shed maybe, with a whiteboard, just writing things on, just brainstorming. What is that process like? Building the blocks, building the foundation behind this brand new game, putting those ideas down on paper. How does it work for your team?
Well, that's a big question.
I mean, one aspect we used was we tried to kind of break everything down as simply as possible, and that really is just like a one-on-one interaction.
Yeah.
Like if you imagine how many times a one-on-one interaction happens in multiplayer or in single player, and like what does that look like? They could just shoot each other, but it's what is in your loadout, what's in my loadout. It's almost like it's like a card game where I use my flash and you use your smoke, and and so like we really worked on how many permutations and how that can play out. And so we figured if we can get that to come and play out in a lot of different ways, we can make a really deeply replayable game, which should, make everyone really happy at the end of the day.
Nah, it seems like everyone's having a blast so far. I mean, this in general, it's got to be pretty special to see just this many content creators here, gas up, enjoying the game.
I mean, it's been absolutely incredible. Honestly, Jeff, Joe, thank you so much for being here, giving us all the insights, letting us nerd out a little bit, ask all the questions that we're dying to know. But I tell you what, it is about time right now to head on over to the main stage to talk a little bit more about COD Mobile. We've got Beef Mummy and Matt Lewis over there. Let's take it over to them and see what they have in store.
All right. Thank you so much, Lottie, and welcome back to the Command Center presented by Xfinity Rewards. And it's time to finally drop into some epic Warzone mobile gameplay. And joining me here, none other than Matt Lewis. I've been so excited to bring you into this stage. He is the Vice President of Product Management for mobile.
Thank you so much. I am super excited to be here today. We just have some awesome gameplay. We have some cool new surprises for you. So I'm just really looking forward to sharing this moment with you and with just the entire Call of Duty community.
I'm so excited. I'm just ready to get into action. And obviously things are just heating up over here. And it really is impressive what you've been able to pull off here. And watching someone play, it looks great. It feels great. It's as if it's running off a console, to be honest.
It's true.
How did you guys make this from the ground up?
Yeah, it's a great question. So one of our game pillars was what we call relentlessly Warzone. I like to think of it this way. There are a set of emotions and an overall gameplay quality, something that's felt when you play Warzone. And for us, that's something, it's a product of these proprietary combat and movement systems, the Verdansk map, tons of vehicles, and some unique Warzone mechanics, things like the gulag and in-game loadout drop. So you put all these together in a pot, mix them around, put some magic powder in there, and boom, Warzone. So games, they can try to match this recipe and they can spend a decade, you know, iterating and testing and trying this and that, but they're just not able to quite get there. So for us, being on the same technology, it means we don't have to tinker nearly as much. It's just an incredible advantage for us.
So how was the team able to do it and just really pull off everything that you've had here so far?
With tons of coffee.
No wonder why we don't have any more coffee here backstage.
Yeah, exactly. That's the truth. All the coffee in the world is how we were able to do it. No, you know, one of the things that I just love about this project, it's a really great mix of talent and experience. And for us, that concoction was what allowed us to have this kind of great end product. So for us, you know, there are 4 major studios who are working on Warzone Mobile. Activision Shanghai, Beenox, Digital Legends, and Solid State Studios. So our philosophy, it's been to mix together really amazing Call of Duty console and PC developers with some of the best mobile developers in the business. Because that's what we want, you know, an authentic, adrenaline-pumping Warzone, but something that is ultimately in this made-for-mobile, amazing, super polished mobile experience.
It's been so much fun watching all of these streamers today, and this game looks like a really great time. What is the best way for our viewers at home to guarantee they will be the first to drop in and play Call of Duty Warzone Mobile?
It's a great question. It's a great question. So for us, pre-registration is going to start today. We'll have a little bit more on that later. We're super, super, super excited. And if you're on Google Play, if you log on to the Google Play Store right now, you'll be able to start to pre-register. If you're on other platforms, please keep an eye out on all the social channels. We have the social channels live now, so follow, comment, all that kind of good stuff. And we're coming soon on the Apple App Store for pre-order. We have some incredible rewards. I'm going to talk about those maybe in a few minutes, but maybe for now, kick it over, check out some gameplay.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to go and pre-register for myself. I'm just so excited. But that brings an end to our coverage of Call of Duty Warzone Mobile. And honestly, it's been such an amazing, great time here. But obviously, before we do end all of these, we're going to try to see what kind of fun all these streamers are bringing it up over here, because we are taking up on the screen right now. I mean, this ends with us just trying to introduce the game, but obviously every one of us, we want to see the gameplay. We want to see everything that's happening here, and obviously I am with the best person to talk about everything that is happening here on your screen right now.
Oh man. So when I'm looking at this gameplay right now, for me, one of the things I love about Warzone is that vehicle play. The vehicle play, the movement, and the combat systems all tied together. I'm a thumb player. I can't do the claw myself, so when I see other thumb players, in particular on the vehicles, it's a soft spot for me. I just feel great.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like a lot of the players right now, even if you're not on mobile, you just see this map and you go back way back 2020, and you're just seeing this map Verdansk. It's just you're basically having a little bit of a throwback from when you used to play this map, and you get to play it here on mobile. And so I feel like it's just so exciting to finally see this map back into life, and really, we're just ready to play. I know, yes, we're in alpha right now, but I played the game yesterday. It feels amazing.
100%. I think you nailed it. I think the team is really, really, really happy with where we are. If we think of the development process, we typically think about 4 stages, and we're in the 2nd stage right now, where we're live to some amount of people in our alpha, and we're going to be entering a beta shortly. So for people who are interested in getting their hands on the game, the best way to do that, to pre-register now, follow all of the channels on social. There'll be some great updates there. And we just have loads of improvements, loads of surprises too. We just have some super cool stuff coming in. New features, maybe some new gameplay. Gunsmith is looking absolutely incredible. I think players who are familiar with it, they're just not going to believe what we have coming out with soon.
And as you can see over here, we definitely have streamers that you're very aware of already just logging in, checking out Warzone Mobile. And it looks and feels amazing, as you can see on your top left screen. We were talking about this beforehand, right? One of the POIs that we really love to talk about is Boneyard, because for me, in my experience in Boneyard, it's great. It has so many chests. You definitely can get a lot of money, but the moment that you drop in, you already know there's a bounty on your head, most likely.
Me too. Boneyard for me is my favorite. I'm a player I like to equip 2 things. I always like 2 primaries for myself. A shotgun is a must, and I like my shotgun and my sniper. People make fun of me for it, but that's what I love. Boneyard allows me to do both those things. I tend to like to hide out myself in some of those little airplane shells, wait for unsuspecting people to come in, and you know, sometimes I'm lucky and sometimes I'm not. But that's me, Boneyard all the way. The fun thing for me too, we've been noticing some people, we've been noticing Bobby talk about this a little bit earlier, is, you know, being able to go back into some of those points of interest that you like, in particular ones that were former MP maps and previous Call of Duties. It's just one of the things that makes Warzone awesome. I know people were talking earlier like, oh my God, Superstore, Superstore, Superstore.
Oh yeah, speaking of Superstore, I mean, I like dropping in there because I feel like I'm going on a shopping spree, grocery shopping, all the weapons that you need on the ground, they're over there. You know, but the thing is, it's in the center of everything. You're in the middle of everything. So if you want to go and just go away into safety, you're going to have such a hard time because you're worrying about people up top. Airport is right there. Boneyard is right there as well. So I feel like for me, like since we're seeing Boneyard right now, it's kind of like a safe little spot because it's right off to the side, but you still get really good loot as well.
Totally, well said. And for me, one of the things I love about Verdansk as a player is there are these mix of different ranges. You have really close quarter, inside combat, things like Superstore. You have some long distance sniper areas. Some people I know like to go on top of dam and try to pick off some enemies. And then you have things that are great for AR, you know, that mix of ranges. So it really is kind of like, you know, choose your own adventure. How do you want to have that kind of gameplay?
Well, talking about the gameplay that we have right now, we definitely want to have a little bit of a look into the different streamers that we have, because obviously you can see here the duo. We got Hawks, we got Bobby Plays, and they're definitely really known in the scene, especially when it comes to mobile. And so it's really exciting to finally see these guys enjoy the game, because we've been talking about this for such a long time. And I really asked Bobby, are you going to be here in this event? I saw your invite. I wanted one as well, but obviously I sneaked into the COD Next event and was finally here, finally able to you know, see the alpha. But hey, since we're here, taking a look at what's going to happen here on the right side of your screen. You're taking a look at the map, and it's like, it's exactly what we saw in Warzone.
Totally, and it's getting to one of those end crunch periods. This is my favorite. The circle started to close, not yet final circle, but it's definitely that time. You got to be a little bit strategic and smart about your choices. There is a penalty if you get a little bit too aggressive.
And now, speaking of being aggressive, it's like we were talking about it. It's really a matter of where you drop, because obviously the tier 5 loot zones, the tier 4 loot zones, you'll always have that risk, but obviously the reward is a little bit more high. I mean, especially if you're going to be dropping at the very ends of the map, at the very end sections of it, where, yes, you might not have better loot, but you might have a better time not really looking for those kills. But the best thing here is you need to find that middle ground in every BR game that you have. For here, cash is king. You need to buy out, go and find a way to buy your fallen teammates, who we've already talked about it before, or maybe even meet them in the Gulag later on. I'm really hoping to see a Gulag feature over here. I want to see it.
Me too, and looking at the mini-map here, there were just quite a few red dots around. Something tells me we're going to see the Gulag pretty soon.
And now we're talking about the weapons that they have over here. Obviously, it's something that we've seen already. The Fennec, I feel like it's going to be a really good gun. And speaking of, there you go, gets one. So that's a really good start. So hard up. We can see Bobby Blaze. I mean, it's just like Bobby Plays has been such a tremendous name here in the mobile scene, and now he needs to get out, because he's going to be in big trouble, especially going out here with no cover whatsoever.
Yeah, I don't know. He's living dangerously. I don't know, Bobby. I'm worried for you, man.
Yeah, Bobby and Hawks, they need to find a way to, you know, just get some cover. There you go, finds one. Gets the kill, and that's going to be really good for them so far. So again, so far so good, and I'm really looking forward to kind of just talking to the guys later on after this gameplay, right? I feel like they have a lot to say.
Me too, super curious to hear. Also curious to hear how this interaction here ends. I want to go back to one thing you were saying earlier with the loadouts. One of the things for me that I just absolutely love about Warzone is being able to have this little in-game economy and the strategic choices that happen as a result. Sometimes I want to get my own loadout. Sometimes, no, I'm all about buying a new score streak, leveling up, helping my squad that way. There's a really nice element of strategic choice, and it's ones that we know players in Warzone 1.0 on console and PC, they just absolutely loved. And, you know, in mobile, there's really nothing quite like it. So just can't wait for players to get their hands on that.
Oh, most definitely, because I had my hands on it yesterday. I'm not very good at it, And that's why I'm being a shoutcaster. I'm just kidding. But really just playing the game and playing Warzone in general, it feels as if you're playing the same thing on console and PC. And so that's such a huge deal, especially since you're putting it in such a tiny device, tiny but powerful device, and to have the same thing here, not only that, it has its unique aspects as well. I think we've already mentioned it before. Mobile, yes, even though you already have it, Warzone is here, it has its unique features.
Big time. And when we started making the game, we listed out all these options. We could make something that was totally not connected. It was its own mobile experience, no connective tissue to Call of Duty console or PC. And on the other end of the spectrum, we could do an exact port, something that felt exactly the same, had, you know, same experience, same economy, same everything else. What we decided in the end was, you know, there are different principles that we want to achieve. We want to make sure on the core game, so here, the moment-to-moment gameplay, it feels just as good as Call of Duty console, because really, for us, that's the best shooter in the world. So we want to make sure that we're rendering that properly on mobile. We just think there's nothing better. At the same time, for mobile players, there's certain customizations that are really important. Sometimes on the event side, or what we call internally the live ops side, but also just on the controls. So we want to make sure we're taking those best of both worlds and adding them together into an experience that just feels like nothing else on mobile. We think we're on the right track.
Yeah, well, speaking on the right track, Noah from YouTube getting these kills already, and it's our first time seeing him right now. So again, where he's at, it's going to be a prime spot because it's not going to be too crowded, as you can see here, but you can also get really good loot. So that is definitely one thing that you want to have. And now for him exploiting all of these, I can see the movement is very much like Warzone. I feel like for me, that was one of the bigger questions. It's like, what's the movement going to be like? And you can see here, it's good. He's done. He's already kind of felt the game pretty right to the fact that he can get a lot of these kills. And so how was it like trying to transform into the movement coming in from Warzone, going in here to Warzone Mobile?
That's a great point. We thought movement, that's one of those things. Movement and really the whole combat experience, it's something that we just felt like we don't want to mess with it too much. It's so special. It's what makes Call of Duty Call of Duty. So for us, it's about rendering that in the right kind of way. And again, not totally there, but man, we're pretty happy with where we are at this alpha stage in the development process.
I'm just so excited to see every one of these streamers just battle it out, especially at the very late game where you get to see the circle just kind of closing in. But obviously, we only have a set amount of time, and that brings an end to what we saw when it comes to the gameplay of Call of Duty Warzone Mobile. And it has been really fun, really exciting to see all the streamers playing the game, and we still have way more lined up for you. But with that being said, let's bring in Xavier for a special sideline update.
Yeah, what's going on? WWE superstar Xavier Woods, a.k.a. Austin Creed, here with the only, the man, the legend, Myth.
I'm here with Austin Creed.
Woo! Having a good time. Good to see you, man.
Good to see you.
How you been?
Brother. I've been great.
Good.
I'm having such a good time so far, man. It's crazy.
Well, I love to see you. Yeah. Now, first things first, we've all been at home for a long time, and now we get to come do an event like this. You get to see all your buds, play Call of Duty with all of them. How does it feel being at this event right now?
Honestly, there's like a 13-year-old little boy like inside of me, the 13-year-old version of me that's like freaking the fuck out. Sorry, I don't know if that's allowed or not, but my bad. I won't do it again. But like, I am losing my cool. Like, I think it's awesome to think about the fact that like I'm at a Call of Duty event and one of this scale for a game that's this big.
Right. Yeah. Well, since you got to play the game with a bunch of people so far, what's your favorite thing?
Ooh, my favorite thing, an individual thing. I think so far what I've come to really like is I feel like they took everything that I loved about Modern Warfare and elevated it to the point where like the visuals, the gunplay, the feel of everything is just really polished and tuned. And that's part of what I really, really loved about Modern Warfare.
Nice, nice. Now, we're going to get into some Battle Royale later today. Is there anybody here that you are excited to find and take out on the battlefield?
Give me Give me Symphony's Pidgeotto ass. You know what I mean? I want to take him out because, you know, he's known as the cheater, the Warzone kid, and he's my good friend of mine. So I feel like it'd be legendary if I was able to just smoke him in the new Modern Warfare 2 Warzone. You know?
Well, there we go. There we go. We're going to be watching. Yeah. We're going to see if you get it. All right. Appreciate you guys listening. Back to you, Lottie.
Great job, guys. That was awesome.
out back there? Awesome. Yeah, that was great. That was so fun.
Inside, how hyped up he is, like,
Oh, yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, I mean, everybody is. I feel the exact same way.
Yeah.
Like, everybody's in one room here for one reason. It's to play and be excited about the new game, man. You can hear it, like the passion in here. Everybody's loving it, all the new game modes. And we got one on the screen right now. Like, we've had 3P in Call of Duty before, but not quite like this.
Yeah, it's been pretty amazing. And yesterday, just being able to play, seeing your own back as well has been a while, of course. I got to say, it felt pretty damn good. And when you got used to it as well, Ali, like,
yeah,
start frying. And I know you fry.
I was having an incredible time yesterday. I was on other streamers' setups, so I made sure to change my clan tag to CXT, so everybody knew who was absolutely world starring them on the map. But I will say, the energy in here compared to like a competitive event is just, it's intense in a totally different way. It's intense in the fact that everybody is just so excited and everybody is just having pure fun and bliss loading into a new game, figuring things out. Like, the energy is just on a different level.
It really is on a different level.
This looks sick.
It does.
Yeah, what I like about this, Clint, is in 3P, you know, it's 3P, you use the corners, get that advantage. But when you aim in, I was worried about...
It feels really
like,
natural. It looks really natural.
Yeah, I was worried about how seamless it would be from like going from 3P to aiming in, but it's perfect. Your centering feels on point. If that's how you play the game and try to keep your, you know, red dot in the middle, you can play like that, right? So it's really nice, man. It works.
Well, the only time I'd really mess with it too much for me was the COD Mobile BR, like the first iteration of it, like that kind of that 3P to first person. That was the first time I really had messed with it much, and it felt great. So it's really cool to see them try to double down, create a game mode here.
Yeah, and you can also kind
of looks really seamless, like you said.
You can also kind of see how your character moves. Remember what we were talking about earlier, Ali, where it was like the character, the movement, like it feels different. It's reimagined. Like when you're jiggle peeking, you can see the hips, the head move, everything.
Yeah.
You can really see that in the 3P. That's what, you know, when I had that realization, I was playing that earlier. I was like, okay, I'm going to have to play these angles a bit differently. And, you know, if you're a little bit more of a tactical player, like to get that information, this is going to be what you want to play.
And I don't know if this goes for everybody, but this is the first time I played a third person like this, where you actually went into your sights still. Like, that you weren't still in third person when you went to ADS. So that was very interesting to transition for me, and I was curious at how it would work with a controller, because I use a controller personally. I feel like mouse and keyboard players are a little bit more accustomed to stuff like that. So I was wondering how that would translate, but like Ant was saying, like, it just felt natural. Like, it felt normal, and it was actually really, really fun to play, because your FOV, like, you see everything, and like you play and you peek corners like totally different than in your first person mode.
Well, the one thing I really like is, like, one thing I'll struggle with sometimes, like, you get this really cool operator or something, right? Like, a battle pass comes out, like, this really dope operator, and you don't really get to see that much, right? It's more about, like, your gun when you're in the first person.
Yeah.
But with this, like, if you get something dope or some of the different emotes you can do, like,
your skins.
You are show off.
You get to see what you look like. I think, going back to quickly your point there, Ali, about getting used to kind of the zoom in then into the ADS as well. It does take a second to get used to, for sure. How would you handle that, though? Because I think, you know, traditional Call of Duty games, you know, straight up first person, you know, you can snap really quickly, right? Your ADS, you can put perks on to make sure that ADS is as fast as possible. This takes a little bit of time. So are you pre-aiming when you're going around? Like, what are you doing to try and kind of combat that?
Well, I'll tell you right off the bat, when we first loaded into it yesterday and got a little bit of a taste, I thought it was a bug. Like, I thought you weren't supposed to be able to ADS. I was like, oh my gosh, no way. Like, oh, they're going to be playing tomorrow and this is going to be happening. But that, it was meant to happen. It was such a smooth mechanic. And talking about getting used to it, I was pre-aiming quite a bit, but as you got used to it, the hip fire on a lot of these weapons is actually incredibly accurate. So if anything, you're going to find yourself hip firing a lot more than ADSing when you're playing this game mode. Again, might leaning towards the mouse and keyboard players who are more used to not actually.
I think your centering is just your centering.
Your centering is
Listen,
incredible.
guys, I'm not gonna lie. I've played tournaments 3P on Call of Duty. We had it back in the day. Like, I've grinded 3P Call of Duty. It's actually a lot of fun. We used to have search and destroy tournaments all the time. I think these guys are having a lot of fun with it. I mean, you can see, like, it's a completely different play style.
Where did you come from? Hitch is surprised.
Yeah, he's not happy with that, for sure.
But it's absolutely incredible. And another thing, you get a different kind of FOV feel for the map as well.
Yeah.
You see things in a different kind of scope and bigger picture here. I'm kind of curious to see what things look like in terms of like hanging from ledges from third person and how that kind of works as well.
Like, they put in so much work into the game. Like, IW, I see you. You want us to see everything.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what 3PS4, like, Clint, that's a really good point. Like, with your operator, like, I want to see that swag.
Well, I miss, like, it was a simple thing, but back in Blackout, like, the first iteration of the VR, you had, like, these emotes that you could do, like a hula hoop or something that would go out to third person. And I kind of miss that going forward because I like to see, if I get this really cool operator, I want to see it more. But, like, to your point, seeing the character animations and stuff, like, they just look godlike. Like, it does look so good.
It looks so good.
And not to mention the sneak peeks that we've got from like the vault and from what operators are going to be coming off of beta, like they look incredible. Like they look so freaking good. So to that point, I am very excited to see once the game releases the type of operators we're going to get heading forward.
I need Vacation Maven. That's what I called it.
Yeah.
It's like a Hawaiian shirt with a bald guy with like a little bit of suntan lotion on his nose, and I just always called it Vacation Maven. I'm gonna need that back.
I'm not gonna lie, I might have to whip out my PlayStation again because that Oni skin, like you were talking about, imagine how damn fine that would look in third person.
Yeah.
Like insane. That skin was
doing the walk and everything.
Oh
with
my god!
in both hands. Like I want to reenact that live in game.
It'd be absolutely incredible. I mean, this is already looking so much fun. I remember playing this yesterday. I got in a lobby with Aiden, and yeah, that was really rough. I was actually playing on Cloaksy's station, and I've definitely given him a bad name. I've got to say.
You said that you thought Aiden had a personal vendetta.
I did. I mean, this guy, he really doesn't like me. He really doesn't. But you know, it was so fun.
He doesn't like
play.
Cloaksy. It wasn't you,
Yeah,
I promise.
exactly. He's probably like, who is this? This can't be Cloaksy for sure. But pretty exceptional stuff, and we can see a lot of the ADS here.
Look at Tommy's face right now. Like he's just got this. He had this little little smirk and smile on his face. Like you can just tell people are having fun, and that's what this is all about. It's been awesome to see.
Tommy was having fun. He was sitting there capturing C, just like jumping up and down with his camera sort of angled down so you can see over the wall. Like he's like, oh yeah, he's like, I played this before. He's having fun, man. Absolutely frying.
It wouldn't be a Nick Cam if his face wasn't in it.
Yeah, like what I walked through all these setups. I saw the cameras were in the right spot. How is it still only half his face? Like he moved it.
He had to have.
That's the classic Nick Merckx. It's the forehead. It's the eyebrows and the forehead going strong always. You probably talked about this a little bit, but just while it's on the screens, I've got to say, the aesthetics of this game look so good, and in terms of third person as well, being able to see it all encapsulated, as well as your, of course, skin and your operator that you're looking at.
All right.
Stunning. And so is the gameplay here from Nick Merckx.
Yeah, it really is.
That was sweet.
The color I'm loving, but he's got the gunning on point right now. Nick Merckx absolutely forehead cam and all, just frying.
And you saw what he did there,
up the lobby.
He was pushing up and he was turning left, but he had his camera angled behind him.
Yeah.
Saw that, jumped backwards, and absolutely
that was nasty.
So you know Nick, I mean, he's got a history of third person. So this.
How are you guys feeling about the angles? We're seeing Nick do it a little bit here and just kind of shimmying and making sure he can see what is behind the corner. How are you feeling about that for third person?
I mean, he's a cut above the rest when it comes to this. Like he's super used to it. He's won championships on 3P, so he's having a blast. I mean, he's played a lot of Call of Duty as well, so it's like the best.
Dude, he is torching this lobby right
he's
now.
bullying them.
But no, I think there is definitely, there's a learning curve to it if you haven't really played it. And yeah, he has a lot of experience with this type of camera, this type of gunplay. And I think you're seeing that absolutely right now. Just the used movement with the crouch to the block. He's a little disappointed. I think it's a nade that takes him out, but he was tearing the lobby apart.
Yeah, it makes it look way too easy, I'm not going to lie. He makes me feel like
he looks a lot more natural than some of them, right?
Yeah, he does.
Even some of the POVs we went to, I think you could tell they've been playing a little bit. But his looks a bit different, without question.
Oof. It's going to be a rough one. He's not happy. He's not happy about that. Absolutely insane stuff, though. It looks absolutely incredible as well. Yeah, he's frying. He's absolutely frying. That's your teammate. That's your teammate.
That's what I always struggle with when I'm playing something for the first time. Allie, I'm
I did that yesterday.
I'm
I was shooting at teammates.
I'm shooting at teammates, locking on teammates all the time. When it's like new maps, like new game. I don't know. I always.
You guys just need to dial it in.
What do you mean? Listen, especially if you're not in comms either, and like you don't know the routes on the map yet. Like you run into something, you don't see that name.
There's no
the head.
excuse for Allie. Clint's like.
Allie, I'm pretty confident if you put the time in.
Yeah, what's up?
You would have had a better professional career than Ann. Like
I don't even think I'd have to put the time in, honestly.
That's true.
Listen, bro. I can't let this stand. You guys.
I used to always mess with Ant.
I got
if I
time,
skipped
Clint.
college and I was grinding, like Ant's in trouble. We're gonna take a look at a replay now. Nick was absolutely popping off in 3P. We know he's got the experience with it. Let's check out the Elgato replay.
Yeah, this guy obviously has been here before, but of course on a new game here, Modern Warfare 2. Looking amazing. I'm pretty sure this part he does snap off. I thought that might have been the part where he died. I was going to say surely not. But just really, really seamless gameplay from Nick Merckx. And it's something to expect from him for the future. The fact that he's getting it down already, brand new game, brand new maps. I mean, it's pretty clean, isn't it, Nameless?
Yeah, he was frying, and he wasn't even using right-hand advantage there. Literally using the left side of the screen. So
That's part I always struggle with is that toggle between shoulders. Like, I mean, it's very natural when you play more, but like at first, I'm not very. I just end up like looking over one shoulder, basically.
Yeah, I always look at the right side. Man. It's so tough. Left side, I always get gunned. Oh my goodness.
Oh, I say he got a couple hit fire bullets.
Rogue.
Got Almond here.
Was that a shotgun that killed him?
I'm not sure.
Looked like a shotgun.
The shotgun looked disgusting. I was watching Tim use it earlier. He was
No
running
way y'all are using
blasting.
shotguns. That's crazy.
Yeah, I probably need one, to be honest. I probably need one, for sure. What do you guys think of the perks as well? Obviously, the perk packs, we talked about that with the devs earlier on the desk, and we saw that pop up a few times now on the screen. But obviously, having to earn the perks and kind of produce the goods and secure those as you're playing is pretty cool, too.
Yeah, we'll see what people play around when it comes to the perk setups. You can create your own, but they also have different classes. You can be a support player. Clint was mentioning it earlier. You can be a sentinel. Josie was talking about that. So there's different categories. I think most people will just create their own, run some of the historics that we have at EOD, which is back battle hardened. You can stay away from stuns, nades. And then Dead Silence is a field upgrade. I know everybody's always talking about, is Dead Silence in the game? Well, yes, it is. It's a field upgrade. So you can still have that while you pick your additional perks. And as the game goes on, you'll get more. So you're just going to feel like a super soldier this time.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's different. We're going to see how it plays out. But it seems, I just like the concept of unlocking and earning things. I do. So.
It's satisfying. You get kills, the game goes on, you get an extra perk. We've had something similar before back in Ghost with the Specialist, and you felt unreal as you started to unlock some of the other perks. So I'm excited to see how these guys play around with it.
Ooh, all right, Papa App.
I know.
Father of two.
Here he comes.
Dominating the lobby.
I love seeing a sub in his hand. I mean, this is probably one of the better point of views we're going to get, as he is just looking to be a menace right now.
Using the 74U, looks like a version of the AK. Yeah, he is. Oh,
yeah. Do it to him,
my goodness.
Oh, my goodness.
Forget as these guys grind, they're going to start unlocking more weapons. So we haven't seen this yet. We've seen Fenix, we've seen the Hurricane, the FSS Hurricane. We have not seen the 74U on the stream yet.
There you kind of get to see the Dolphin dive, from the third-person POV, which I still think that's what I'm appreciating the most about this, is just seeing some of the animations from the 3P. It just, I don't know, it's a different beast. Nice to see.
I just want to see somebody dolphin dive in third person down an escalator. I'm still waiting for that.
I'm with that.
You can turn around mid-dive.
Yeah, 360.